what they call job and job prospects differently. If you see a typical entrepreneur and they said, okay, the whole year will pay you 10,000, you sit down and say, but I can find a way of making the 10,000 and still make my life. So they commit to work, and they don't seem to interpret life by say, I go to work 9, I come home 5. They are really obsessed and absorbed by their dream to make a difference with their lives. And they have to work, and they don't complain. They are not the ones who easily look up to holidays and vacations and occasions with enthusiasm. I'm trying to tell you some of the qualities of the people we call entrepreneurs, and so that if you call yourself entrepreneur, then maybe you may have to develop them. I am not the kind of person who, I'm just giving you what I understand. Some of them you may agree, some of them you may not agree, but at least you may be able to see one or two things for yourself. And these people we call entrepreneurs, they really want to own companies and businesses, and they see prospects in a lot of areas and in a lot of situations. This is how they think. They are analytical, and they are critical in thinking. They want to solve problems for themselves, and they want to solve problems for society. They ask questions that are tough to be asked. You see them asking them, and they come in all kind of. Some of them are volatile, some of them are calm, but the way their mind processes issues, or the way their minds process issues are a bit more different. And when you see these such inclinations, you see that this is a person who could be one of those people that we call entrepreneurs. And they are fascinated about the accomplishment of other entrepreneurs. They seem to read about them, they seem to be happy about them, they seem to watch their movie, their biographies. They get so much absorbed by such people, because in a way they see themselves in such people, and they are easily misunderstood, and they attempt to be opposite. These are people, when you seem to be showing this kind of things, it means that you are likely in a way to be an entrepreneur, and they are able to convince and persuade people to buy into what they have. They have convincing ability. They are able to, even though they are easily misunderstood, they are also able to clear their points and the situation that get them to be misunderstood easily. And if you look at them, they have their own persuasion about a lot of things. They don't just go along with what everybody thinks. Most people who are entrepreneurs have this kind of inclination, and they are always seem to be trying something new. And that's what they call risk. They seem to be trying something that everybody does not want to try. They're asking a lot of questions, and they want to try. And they love to get along with people. They are people who love people. They see some bit of value in people. They see beyond themselves. Some people can create product, some people can create better services, but you see that they are self-focused, they are selfish. They don't want to open up to people. I think that most of those people fall into the category of business people, because they really into it for just the money. The entrepreneurs may look for the money, but what drives them more is their passion to make a meaning with their lives. They are trying to find themselves in some kind of accomplishment, and sometimes it goes beyond just the money. And they're able to see friendships and link up. They're able to see what they can get from somebody, or what they can pursue with somebody alongside easily. And they are focused on things that work, and they seem to make friends. I said that before. And they are givers. They give their time, they give their passion, they give their talent, and they give what they have, sometimes for free, before it starts to make business sense, or before it starts to make profit for themselves. And they kind of good with numbers as well. They are not just product people, they are not just project people, they are not just sales people. They are able to also add some bit of numbers together to see if what they are doing makes sense, or it does not, or what they are doing it does not make sense. They are interested in money as well, but that is not so focus of what they are doing. The money will get them going. They know that is important, but they are also driven by trying to make a mark with themselves. And they are sorry, the network. and their families and friends seem to see these traits or these qualities in them. They try things and they are able to put up with a lot of pain and difficulty. They love knowledge and they read a lot. And as I said before, they ask a lot of things. And they seem to believe in we than I. They believe more in we. They talk more of us because they see that they have talent, but they also see that some other people also have talent. So if you look at the way they see life, they're more of let's get this vision done with us. You know, some other people only want to just own their own sole proprietor kind of business and stay with the money. They don't want trouble. Really, those are not the kind of entrepreneurs that I would want to talk of. I'm talking of those who have vision, a passion, they want to make a mark, and they have the ability to connect talents to realize vision. You know, and sometimes they may not even be the people who are really in front, you know, but that is how they see. They see value in people. They are very much more selfless than selfish. Most entrepreneurs that you can read about or you get to read about, they are very much more less self-focused. They see value in people. They see the need of the services that they are going to give, and they see the impact it can make to people's life in the changes that they can make in society. That's why when you see them, they are building business. Somebody comes around to go on to buy them, and they say no. And sometimes those businesses, the purchase is, the price is the kind of money that they have never seen before. But they see that they are going to make a mark in this world, in their community, in their country. And so why sell it? They want to inspire people more. So that is the processes, the qualities of the people that we call entrepreneurs. And I established before that there is a business person, and there is a sales person, there's a project person, there are people who exhibit some inclination like sole proprietorship traders and stuff, but there are entrepreneurs, and this kind of entrepreneurs that I'm talking of are people who are very selfless. They are people driven. They want to make a mark with their lives. They're able to put up with a lot of bad situations, difficult situations, and if you look at them, they are very unpredictable, because they seem to be always creating something, and their mind processes a lot of things. They ask a lot of questions. They are critical in thinking, and they are a bit more controversial. If you look at any of the entrepreneurs, I'm not going to name any of them, but you look at them and see their heart and see the questions they ask, and see the giving that they give to society. Some of the top entrepreneurs, you look at how much they give to change the course of history, and you see how much knowledge that they share. And a lot of them, if you see it, when they had the idea, they connected with friends, they connected with family people, and they tried to stay with it, and they were the ones who put up with all the difficulties, and to make sure that the idea became realized. They were, in a way, they were trying to find the extensions of themselves, and these are the people that I'm trying to talk about. These people I call entrepreneurs, you know. And so my name is Opendako. I am talking about qualities of entrepreneurs, and you should understand that there are differences. If I have 10 million and I want to start a school, I'm a business person. Most often I want to just make profit. You know, if I add a lot of value to it and I see the sense in trying to connect with people and pulling the money, sometimes it's not my own money, then I may be seen as entrepreneurs. There's a bit of confusion in that, in terms of, I think that most of the entrepreneurs that I've read about, those that I have studied, some of these qualities run through them, and it does not run through the business people. For instance, if you get top CEOs with top companies who have run through the ranks and did not start the business themselves, in a way they still think as employees, which is not derogatory, but no, there's a psyche of a person who starts a business, and there is a psyche of a person who comes to work with the business. They are not the same. There's a bit of shift in terms of how they see the world, in terms of how they see people, in terms of how they see money, in terms of how they even see a lot of things. The people usually who are entrepreneurs who started with nothing, with no money, with no network, they seem to have this kind of courage to keep going. They seem to see talent and tap into them. They seem to have ability to convince people to buy their ideas. They seem to stay with a lot of pain. They seem to be critical. They ask a lot of questions. These are the people that you call them entrepreneurs. Somebody may have run through the business. They didn't start it, but they are the CEO now. They are business people. They are making a lot of business decisions, but they may not necessarily be entrepreneurs. Why? Because they still think they are still very risk averse. They still don't dare that much. They're still very much about myself and my salary and what are the remuneration that those things that they call. What are the things that are in for me that much? Most often the entrepreneur is the last one to look for anything. He's the last one to look for anything for himself. So if you have this kind of way to look at life, then you have better prospects to be an entrepreneur. When an entrepreneur starts a business, he opens up for people to come in to help. When the other one, if I'm just an inventor or an innovator or a salesperson, I'm trying to just push my agenda, I'm pushing my product, I may not be so much comfortable to open up to a lot of people. The idea is mine, I put it on my chest. And most people who do those are more of the ones who are doing sole proprietorship kind of things. We call them entrepreneurs, yes, but I say that they created their employees who created their own jobs. The entrepreneur who is looking more beyond just the job. They are looking at the realization of a vision. So if they have to pull out for the vision to work, they are ready to do that. So those are the things that, and if you read any books about them, you will see it. If you go into your local area, your locality, you go into your country and see your region, you see this kind of people who are driven by the ideas. So there is some bit of difference in who we call a business person, who just his vision is just to make a business deal, increase his money, which there's nothing wrong with it. Some of them may be entrepreneurs, but being a business person per se does not mean that you're an entrepreneur. And so they can be big CEOs, sales top innovators, but they may not necessarily, because some people can create an idea, can create a product, but they may not have all the other attributes of an entrepreneur to build a business around it. So their gift is to create a product. Their gift is to build some bit of, they have ability to innovate, but they are not able to build all the other channels around the idea for it to become a business. And so entrepreneurs are a bit different. The way they look at life is very different from the way the rest of us, the rest of the people look at life. They want to make a mark. They want to make a mark with their talent, with the way they see life. They want to make a change, and sometimes they just start with what they have. They may not have money, they may not have anything, but they have that convention, and they have that ability to negotiate and get people to be connected to the idea. And some of them experience some bit of commerce. They got close to people who were doing these things when they were growing up, and that clicked them. And they are very controversial. Most entrepreneurs have opposite of what everybody else thinks. That's why they seem to be the disruptors. That's why they seem to be the ones asking questions all the time. They are opposite, and they are very much selfless. They give their time, they give their talent, they see value in people. They are people who appreciate the contributions of others because they know what it takes to create anything, and if you look at them, they are not a lot of the people who are real entrepreneurs who are very much particular about their character and their integrity. Why? Because it's not just the money that is why they are doing what they are doing. So a lot of them are very much frank as to, if you want somebody to tell the truth, these are the kind of people that you ask. Why? Because they are bold, they are courageous, they don't care, they can tell you, because you can say that I will not give you the money and they still go to the next step. Why? Because they are not, the money is not the only reason why they are doing this. It's not, as a matter of fact, it's not the main reason that they are doing it. They want to realize themselves, and so they're straight to the point. They're straight, and that's why the very good entrepreneurs, when you go around them, you see that they are very clear with a lot of things that they do. And if they give you their word, they usually go, they go by it. Why? Because they don't like chase. That's what I mean. And they have stamina. They go for quality friendship, this kind of people. And so when you see this, I'm not talking of the people that we are confusing to be entrepreneurs who are doing all kind of things and say they're entrepreneurs. No, their drive is money, and I will not call them in a straight sense as entrepreneurs. I will call them as more of business people who want to multiply their money, and that is a bit different from somebody with a drive, with an idea, who has the ability to connect people, who has the ability to realize the vision, and is able to put up with a lot of stress and pain. A lot of these people are very selfless, and they believe in humanity, they believe in mankind, they believe in making a contribution to their country, to the economy, to their region, to their family, to their people. This is the kind of things that these are the kind of things that drive the people that I'm trying to talk about as entrepreneurs. So there's a big difference when it comes to these people that are called entrepreneurs. So it's not some of the people who are going around saying, no, they go to sit down, cut some deals with somebody, they take this, that's not entrepreneurship. That's just somebody who's doing business, and is in it only for the money. They don't care what happens to the country, they don't care what happens to the economy, they don't care what happens to the other person. That really is not what I'm talking of. I'm talking of people who are able to commit selflessly to building value, business value, economic value for his people. And they have a lot of confidence. They have self-confidence. They are passionate about people, and they don't give up easily on their dreams. These people are able to take a lot of pain and to keep going. And that's why they say that they are very few. In every generation, they are just about 1 to 3 or 4%. Why? Because they're selfless. They're selfless. They are passionate. They don't give up. They're able to connect. They love people. No matter what you hear about entrepreneurs, go and read about every one of them. I'm not talking of business people. There's difference between people who are doing business and they have built a lot of businesses. They have a lot of capital. I'm not talking of that. I'm talking of entrepreneurs, and sometimes there is a big difference between the businessman and somebody who's an entrepreneur. The entrepreneur can be very rich, but they are always starting new businesses and to solve problems, not only for the money. The business person is always starting businesses because he wants to make more profit. That's why they can lay a lot of people off and still declare dividends, because they want to make more money for the shareholders. That's a business person thinking. The entrepreneur is more of, okay, then let's keep these workers who are there with me for throughout all this tough moment, and let's see how the business can survive if I have to cut all my salary off and give it to these people who sacrifice so much. That is an entrepreneur, because they see value in people all the time. So they have some strange love for people. They believe in people, their ability to link up. That's why they're able to tap a lot of talents to harness to build their dreams. Why? Because they have eyes. They go to this place, they see somebody, the way they are talking, they link up with them. They see this there. They are able to see people and how different they are. They see their talent, and they see the talent of the other people, and they see where they can meet. These are the people. They have eyes for the value in people. They have heart. They are the people who can easily give their car to you to go and use. They give their car to the employee to go and use. They treasure the team that they have. That is an entrepreneur. The businessman, I've paid you. That's it. What else do you need? That's a typical business person who is only using people for their selfish gain. And that's fine. It's business. But I'm talking of entrepreneurship and the qualities that you have to have. So if you are thinking of becoming one, and if you're thinking of starting your business, you can classify yourself as an entrepreneur or as a business person. Most business people don't care about what happens to the other person so far as they gain whatever they are gaining. But if you are thinking of entrepreneurship, because that is more than just the money, you see the value in the people, you see the idea, you see how the idea can change the country, change the world, change the community. Your heart and passion for people, is more than just the profit that you will make. And that is entrepreneurship, or that is entrepreneurs. Those are the way they look at life is so different. They are very much selfless and they commit to their work. When people are looking at going to work 9 and coming back 5, 6, they work more than 12 hours, 15 hours, they work. They don't time themselves. If you see somebody like that, you're seeing somebody who is likely to be an entrepreneur. And they work to get results. If you want to give something to somebody to get results, they don't give excuses. Once they are committed to something, they will stay with it till it gets results. And they work with a lot of enthusiasm, and they are not looking up to holidays and occasions and partying a lot. No. If you see them doing those things, it means that they are trying to link some talent, they are trying to link some product, they are trying to make some sales for their business to work. And so, and they want to own a company, a legal instrument which can promote their idea. So they fight for that, and they see prospects in a lot of situations. Their thinking is different. They see a lot of prospects in a lot of situations, and they are very critical in thinking. They ask a lot of questions. And they want to solve problems by themselves. They want to solve problems and build network with people to solve problems. And whenever they find themselves in difficulties, they know that is part of the situation. And they're fascinated about accomplished entrepreneurs. They read a lot about them. They almost get any material about these people. If anybody is talking about how they realize their dream from this level, they are always they're looking out for this kind of people. And one thing about entrepreneurs is that they are also easily misunderstood because of how they see life. They are easily misunderstood, but even that, they still have the ability to convince people to be on their train. And they have a lot of patience to convince people. If they see you as valuable, they will convince you. They will stay for you to get on board for the vision to realize. So these are the people that, if you happen to think like that, or if you are thinking of starting a business, you have to decide or thinking of starting a company, you have to decide. If you're an entrepreneur, these are some of the inclinations. You go and study them, you see that a lot of what I'm saying is right. Anywhere that you go, you see this kind of people. They have their own persuasion about a lot of things. They don't just go by what the masses think. Not at all. They love getting along with people. They are not just killing everybody because they want to get money. A lot of them believe that you can still do business and build. Of course, they don't want to get along with enemies and be killed anyway, but at least they see value in people, and they try to go with a lot of consensus if the idea has to work, because they have to do anything that they have to do to make sure that the idea works. And they are focused to make things work out, and they give their time, they give their money, they give a lot of things that they have. They give themselves to realize, because it's a trade-off. If you see anybody who has built a business from nothing, they traded their time. They are givers. That's why they have resource. So if you're selfish, if you're focused on only yourself, you don't have that kind of entrepreneurship trait or those kind of qualities that I'm talking of. No, because they are not selfish. They are not only looking at what they will gain. Entrepreneurs don't behave that way. They look at the big picture, and most of them, their families and their friends see these kind of qualities in them, and they love knowledge. They study, they read, and they believe in the term we call we. They usually say we are this, we are that, we are, because it's a group, it's a business, it's a company. And they are not looking at it just because I started the company, that's me. No, they are looking at talent. So they are able to see a lot that the other people don't see. And that's why you see, one of the things that creates the difference so much is that when I am into something and it's more than myself, I am not going into that thing just to lie. Because it's more than myself. So why am I lying? Why am I cheating? People who are lying and cheating just to build a business, they are not the entrepreneurs that I'm talking of. Because then it distracts all the principles that make entrepreneurs successful. So the level that I'm talking of is somebody who has integrity, who has character. And the moment is beyond themselves. The moment is beyond just what I will get, what is in for me. Then I'm ready to develop all these attributes, to be successful. Why? Because without these attributes, then I will not succeed. Because I'm not going to cut corners to create a facade of success. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to cheat, I'm not going to bully people just to create a facade of success. No, I go with the right principles, and that's why entrepreneurs. Sorry, it's a network. That's why entrepreneurs have these kind of qualities, actually. So because the path is very unpredictable, the entrepreneur's path is so unpredictable. A lot of things happen, and most often they are just using strategies to get along. And so if you're using strategies, because you're using strategies, culture of the people. Very sorry, then the people still the problem. Sorry, the network is not good, but let's see. So because the entrepreneur's part is that tough, you don't want to sacrifice the the process. Okay. Okay. So sorry, maybe it's the network. So because the part is that tough, you would want some of these qualities that are so needed so that you can build a successful business. And so you commit to studying the entrepreneurship processes, you commit to developing yourself, you commit to thinking around some of these qualities that I've shared. You study the country that you work in. If it's Ghana or if it's in Africa, you study the culture, you study the people, you study the products that are needed in this kind of environment, the services that are needed, the prospects that are needed. So because this is what drives them. They look for their problems to solve. They look for the people that they can team up with. They look for the need in a society, not only to make money, which is also important, but beyond the money, they look at their decisions, their choices that they are making, their impact on the people and the economy. And these are the people that I'm talking of, entrepreneurs. And they are people, they're very selfless, they are very much people focused, they are good-hearted people, they are critical in thinking. They may seem to you as very controversial and opposite every sanity, but they are not. That's why they are the disruptors, because they ask a lot of questions. That's why when they are at any place, they're able to ask the questions that others will not see, because of how they see the world. So the whole idea is not that they were born that way, it's the way they have developed their mind to process information that the world throws at them. So these are the people that we call entrepreneurs, and it's not the one. Yes, it may start with the sales, it may start with inventing a product or inventing a process, it may start with you doing something on a small scale, but you have got to develop that psyche that we have talked of. Because without those skills, then whatever you're doing, you will not be able to build a business around it. One, because maybe you are not just a typical business person who is really ruthless and would want to do everything just for the money. You may have this kind of inclination, but you may be relaxed on them and if you relax on these qualities, then you may not be able to build anything that you're building. So study the entrepreneurs that you hear around the world, especially those in your own country that have these traits. Those in your own country, those in the economy that you operate, because they would understand the economy that you operate. You can be inspired from other successful world entrepreneurs, but what you have got to deal with may be entirely different from what they had to deal with, especially if you're from Africa. So if you're from Africa, you would want to study the people, not the business people. I'm talking of entrepreneurs. There are a lot of business people who are doing fantastic for our continent, but they want to sacrifice everything just to gain money. And those are not they are not the kind of people that I'm talking of. No, I'm talking of the one who is selfless, who wants to make a mark, who are very frank, ethical. They have stamina. They believe in people. It's not just about themselves and what they get. It's the we concept that they have. These are the people that I'm talking of, and that's why a lot of them, you see that a lot of them start with just partnership, right? Why? Because of the way they see the world. They process things differently, and so they are not even in the limelight, so to say, from the beginning. They may be just behind it and working. And so some people may have product, may have ideas, but they may not have that. They may not have this kind of qualities, and that's why the ideas never get to be lifted to the next stage. Why? Because these qualities that we are talking of. So entrepreneurs are very selfless, and they are self-confident. They are passionate about people. They don't easily give up on their dream, no matter the hurdles. They continue to fight. They love people. They have the ability to link and extract or link up with the values and the gifts in other people. They seem to work beyond the normal job prospects. That's not how they see the world. They see the world beyond just job. They see the world beyond just giving a little time into something to get results. They give a lot of commitment to what they do. They commit a lot to what they do, and they are not enthusiastic about you looking for holiday and party and occasions. They are not those kind of people. They are not looking for that. They are looking at the realization of their dream, the realization of their company around the world. They want to own something. They usually want to own a vehicle, which is in a form of push their business, and they are very analytical. They are very critical in thinking. They ask a lot of questions, and they solve problems. That's why they get ahead, and they are not the people who are complaining and weeping and crying because there's a problem. No, the entrepreneurs that I know, they ask questions. They push, they go. You can almost always say that they will deliver, and they are committed to delivering, and they are fascinated about the accomplishment of other entrepreneurs. They are always fascinated about that, And one thing that you can also see is that they are very much misunderstood easily, especially at the beginning. Why? Because of the way they see the world, and because of how the world sees them as well. And they have the ability to persuade people to get along with them. And when things get difficult, they are not the ones to run away. They stay. And so they have their own persuasions about a lot of things, And if you look at it, they are very focused to get results. These are the people that we call entrepreneurs. They are focused on getting results, and they are interested in money, all right, but they don't place the money above everything, because they want to build something. And so they are patient enough to make sure that the thing works out. They are able to give themselves 5-year plan, 10-year plan. They want to see how the thing will pan out, So they are not so much driven about just what is the money for me, Now, those are more what I would call business people who just are in only for money and nothing more, nothing else, And so the entrepreneurs, they are risk takers. They risk, and some of it is because of how they see the world, because they see people, they see the world, they are driven by their vision, and so they see the world differently. They want to get results, and they dare to take the what they call risk. And sometimes what they are doing is foolish, but that's how they see the world anyway. Sometimes there's a lot of foolishness in the decisions that they are making if you sit behind, and that's why they also tend to get results, because they take the risk. They are courageous. They're confident. They are very plain. They don't cook a lot of things to come and tell you. They tell you what it is. I mean, you like it or you don't like it, that's up to you. But the business person can just look at your inclination and cook something and come and tell you, just because of the business that he wants to get, just because of so you see that most entrepreneurs are more careful of how their character is seen by other people. So they love knowledge and they are asking questions all the time. They believe in the power of we, of team, of us. They talk of us. They talk of, it is us. We are doing it. And without these qualities, you are not developing you are not becoming what we call entrepreneur. You may have a job for yourself, or you may have a business that is making money, but you may confuse them to being an entrepreneur. For instance, you are into a business that is destroying the environment. You are destroying the water. You are destroying the health of the people. And you say that you're an entrepreneur. You're not an entrepreneur. You're just in it for the money. Because what problem are you solving? Other than you destroying the soil to get what you want. That's not entrepreneur. But loosely, a lot of people will confuse those people to say that they're entrepreneurs. No, they are not. They're just driven by their only ambition, which is themselves, and the money that they have to buy the cars and build the houses, are making a lot of noise. That is not it. If you make your money out of the value that you are bringing to the people, then I would want to say that you're an entrepreneur with for thinking ability. You're able to see value for the people. So there is a bit of difference in this. So study the market, study the continent, study where the needs are, and go in with some of these qualities that you have. And these are qualities that we can also develop. Anybody at all can develop it. Once you are aware of the differences, once you are aware of what you like and what you don't like, you'll be able to work on them as well. And any of us can start anything and develop these qualities and become one, because none of us knew it. Even if you had some of them, you needed a lot of knowledge, a lot of enlightenment to see that this is what you had. These are the qualities of the entrepreneurs and those who are successful entrepreneurs. These are the qualities that they have, And so if you look for them, or if you are not aware, now that you are doing something, research, read about them. You see how they made their decisions, how they fought the battles, how they created the value, how they link up with people, how they were able to do their negotiations, convince people, how they were not ready to compromise on their character, how they were not ready to sacrifice everything for their business gain. So a lot of people are just sacrifice everything for business gain, and they go around and say that they're entrepreneurs. They are not entrepreneurs. They are business people who are just making their money. And once they make their money, that's it. And the people who are going around calling people entrepreneurs, no. There are people who are heading institutions who are not started by them. They are there. They have the thinking of an employee more than an entrepreneur. There's a big difference in them, because they are more particular about the revenue that they get, the salary that they get, the honorarium or something that they call. It's more of what they will get than the value that they bring to the society, to the company, to the problems that they're solving. So if you see a typical entrepreneur, that's why they are the ones giving money out. If you look around the world, you see the very rich who created their wealth with these entrepreneurial qualities. They are the ones who easily give money out. Easily. They are the ones who are easily making a lot of changes around the world. And they are the ones who built businesses that change the history of the world, because these are the qualities that either they had them or they started to develop these qualities. And so when you start a business, once you start to notice some of these qualities, then you are more of an entrepreneur than just somebody who wants to have money and build a house for his family. You want to solve problems, and that's why you develop people. That's why you develop a team. That's why you build partnership. That's why you're looking out for the next product to help the society, the next business to help the society. They look out for solutions all the time, and it's not just about them, it's about us. So entrepreneurs think a lot of they think a lot differently from the others. They think, and so my name is Kwabena. Today I'm talking about qualities of entrepreneurs, and I'm saying that I'm putting out an argument that there is a business person and there's an entrepreneur. There's a bit of difference in them. At a point they cross, but there's still something that I see in the entrepreneurs that I don't see in the business people. And that is, they are more selfless. They want to make a mark in the world, in their own world, and they believe in people. They are able to team up with people. They see the talent in people. They develop themselves to put up with a lot of pain. They seem to be very controversial in their thinking, in the way they look at life. These are the people that I call entrepreneurs, and it's not only about them. And they are very frank to the point. They will tell you what they think, and they will tell you why it will work and why it will not work. They don't cook things, and they don't massage figures to come and tell you. These are the people that are called entrepreneurs, and they are very passionate about the value that they add to people. And so you go around calling yourself entrepreneur, and if you don't have these skills, you are just a person who's looking for money. And it's entrepreneurs are different from just sales people, and they're different from innovators, and they are different from inventors. They're different from project managers and managers. They look at the world differently, and some of them, when they even set the businesses, they are able to stay aside for people to run the businesses. Why? Because it's always not about them. It's really not about them. It's about the idea. It is about what is in their heart. It is about the value that the idea that they have put together is bringing to the society. So there is a big difference. There is some kind of difference with people that we call entrepreneurs. So I'm not confusing them with what we are doing here. A lot of them, I think, a lot of them are just business people who are trying to find livelihood. So you start, you create a business for yourself. You employ yourself. You are not technically the kind of entrepreneur that I'm talking of. Unless you left your game beyond that, because you can create business for yourself. You don't even have anybody that you are working with. It's only you, and you are stressing. You don't believe in vision. You don't believe in team. You don't believe in helping the society. You don't even see the problems of the society. No, you just create a job for yourself. That's good. You are a trader. You are a sole proprietor. That's good, but that's not the kind of entrepreneurs that I'm talking of. I'm talking of those who can think and create vision and create value and solve problems, because those are the ones that we so need, especially to change the statistics on our continent. Those who have these kind of qualities, and those are the ones who have changed things around the world right through history. If you hear of any top entrepreneur that you have ever read of, this is how they thought. They thought differently from the rest of the people. So you can do your own studies and see that there's some kind of sense in what I am saying, that these kind of people they have these kind of qualities. That's why they're different from the others. So don't confuse them. Don't confuse them with the especially with the business people, or with the sole proprietor, or with the trader. There's a bit of difference in them. At a point, the entrepreneur stands out because he is a believer in a lot of things. He's a believer in himself. He has a lot of confidence. He's a believer in his country. He's a believer in his people. He has an idea that he's promoting. He has an idea that he thinks that can solve a lot of problems for the society, and he develops. He replicates himself in his team, in his vision. It lives beyond him. That is an entrepreneur. So the other ones who are just you call entrepreneurs, they are business people, so to say. It could be taken on, but I think this is I see some kind of pattern, and these are the people that I call entrepreneurs, and they are very straightforward. They are honest. They're honest. They're very honest. They believe in character. And they don't give up easily. They have stamina. And they have courage. They can face a lot of issues. They can face a lot of issues, and they commit to the vision and to the team that they link up with. And they have these eyes to always see talent in people. And they know what they are good at and what they are not good at. Especially when you start and you are alone, You see that you're looking out for something. If I start a business and I'm not an entrepreneur, you see that I have a product that I've developed. I keep the product to my chest, and I'm afraid to opening it. I don't want anybody to come close at all. I think that I should be able to make it myself. And why I am doing that is because I think that this one will make me rich. That is not an entrepreneur. That's not the kind of people I'm talking of. No. The entrepreneur typically has some bit of talent that sees a product, sees an idea, and they see that this idea can solve this, become this. Okay, so who can help me to do this? Or who can I partner to do this? They are selfless. They are open up. So there's a big difference, and that's why they grow. That's how they grow beyond the other one who is just keeping the idea by himself and is only going everywhere all by himself, trying to think that the idea itself is worth $1 million. No, sir. The idea has life because of the team, because of the brains behind the ideas, because of the structure that you have, because of the strategy that you have. That is what makes the idea powerful. The idea itself is not powerful without the people behind the idea. So the entrepreneur sees the power in the people. That's an entrepreneur. He sees the power, his best ability is trying to pull strength from people to push the idea. And that's why he's not closing up. He's always opening up to people to come and who can be part of it, And when you go around them, one of the things that when you go around them, you see is that you become better. You become the best of yourself. You become the kind of person that you always wish you could become. Why? Because they challenge you to always constantly become better. That's an entrepreneur. So people around them, when they get close to these guys, you see that they always thinking, they use the best of their gift. When you're around them, you are not the one who is looking to hide. No, because it's infectious. They are givers. They are open. They are blatant. They are up to the point. And so the people around them, right from the inception of the business, those around them, you see that is the culture they build. That's why they're able to build something beyond what the others who are only trying to do everything by themselves, who are only just looking for money, are able to do. So you just have to know what is it that you call yourself and what is it that you are doing. If you're building a company, you should know what is it that you're doing. And entrepreneurs have different kind of qualities beyond just this is my idea, this is me, I don't want anybody to come around, don't come close and steal my. No, those are they share the idea, and they share knowing that somebody's perspective can shape this product, can shape this business. These are the people that I think we need to change a lot of things. The other ones can create their own businesses and feed their family and feed themselves, but I'm not talking of those as entrepreneurs per se. I'm talking of those who are selfless, who are confident, who are passionate about people, about the idea. They want to make a mark, they want to make a difference in this life, they want to set up something to change, and by so doing they become prosperous as well, because they are constant learners. They are learning, they are reading, even if they cannot read. You see that they meet people and they ask questions, and they are flexible. They pick ideas from people. Some of them didn't even go to school, but you can see that this person has this kind of talent, this kind of qualities. You see that he didn't go to school, but he's able to mobilize talents around him. That's an entrepreneur. That is an entrepreneur. So the entrepreneurs are different from the others. That's why sometimes people say that in Ghana, the Ghanaian businesses don't want to open up. It's because they're businessmen. That's it. A lot of them are just businessmen who have created their own jobs for themselves. The real entrepreneurs that you have to groom, who are ready to open up, you see them when you get them, because they come with a lot of flexibility, a lot of information, a lot of qualities that are able to easily open up to a lot of people and to build something. And so you look around the community, look around the country, you will see such people everywhere. And when you get around them, and you see that a lot of them are good people at heart. They're very good people. They are kind because they've gone through the processes. They are kind and they love to share. They love to share their ideas. They love to share their information. They love to share, and they are never afraid. They are never afraid of competition. They are never afraid of what they call people leaving the business. No, because they have developed some kind of skill that attracts the best of people. So the entrepreneur is always getting better. If you look at them, they are always the ones who are always regenerating ideas. Why? Because they are always giving, and once you are giving, more is coming to you all the time, in knowledge, in understanding, in people. So you leave them, the next minute you come, they are at the next stage. Why? Because they are always becoming better. That's an entrepreneur, and it's a constant learning ability. They have that, and they trade their time well. If they commit to setting up a new business, you see that they are committed to it. They solve problems. They are not looking at their watch when they are working. No. When you see anybody looking at their watch when they are working, they are not the kind of people that we are talking of. And I can tell you, anybody who you work with who is always looking at their time, they are selfish. They don't give. They don't learn. They are lazy. And they are opposite entrepreneur. So you see, once you see one thread, you can link it to the others, and you see that's why these guys are always succeeding. That's why these guys are always going forward. So the entrepreneurs are different. The fact that don't sit somewhere and be selfish and just machine a lot of deals and call yourself an entrepreneur. You're just somebody who's chasing money. Entrepreneurs are selfless. They are ethical. They build. They believe in the processes. They are patient. They believe in people. They talk of the we. It's always we are doing this. We are building this. Even if they are the promoter of the business, even if they started the business alone, when you are around them, you see that you are part of them. That is an entrepreneur. Why? Because it's more than him. He built something more than him, so he's always open for whoever comes on board to take the idea to the next stage. They are not stupid. They take a lot of risk, but they are not stupid. They are critical, they are analytical, they may be very controversial, they are opposite what you think, and they will ask you a lot of questions. These are people, and it doesn't matter whether they went to school or they didn't go to school. They have these kind of tendencies all the time. And so if you think that you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to start something, these are the things that you look at for, and you can always develop them. Nobody is born to a certain point. Nobody is born with them per se. All of us can be aware of them and develop them ourselves. So if you don't know, if you're going to do something and you don't know it, then you get confused with it. Until you know the essence of something, you will not know its value. And so I'm talking of the qualities of entrepreneurs, and these are the qualities. So if you exhibit them, if you have them, if you want to develop them, then you see that whatever you have started, you see how successful it tends to become. And so my name is Kwabena. I'm talking about the qualities of entrepreneurs. And I'm saying that business people per se are not entrepreneurs. Sales people or innovators, top corporate people who handle big businesses, or somebody who has just created a business for himself, is a managing director, may not necessarily be an entrepreneur just because they started a business. No, some of them are just business people who have started something purely for the money, and that's it. And that's why when you're around them, they don't develop a lot of people. They don't care about the community. They don't care about the people. They are very much self-focused. It's only about them and nobody else. Those are business people who are driven just by the money, which I don't have any problem with. You are driven by the money. That's your vision. That's fantastic. But I'm talking of the qualities of an entrepreneur. And I'm saying that the entrepreneur may have some bit of history in inclination to business, or grew up with some people who had some business sense. They are very controversial in the way they look at life, and they are straight to the point. They tell you what they think. They are not people who will just tell you anything. They will just tell you what they see, and they have stamina to go forward, and they believe in quality friendship, quality people. They are not looking for fishy, kind of friends. They are looking for quality, straightforward people, because they are straightforward. They are not trying to cut corners. When they commit to anything, they stay with it before they get results. These are the people that I'm talking of. They are selfless, they have self-confidence, they are passionate, and they love people, and they don't give up on their dream no matter the difficulties. These are entrepreneurs, and they are risk takers. They are ready to do whatever it takes for them to get to their destiny, to their destination, to realize their dream, to build a company. They want to build something, and they love people so much that they give up. And when they go around, you see that they have the ability to identify talents that belong to their future. That is an entrepreneur. Those are the things that you see in people, and they are not so much enthusiastic about getting a job, no, for livelihood. No, they think that the way they look at life is that life is more than just getting a job and getting paid. So when you give them something, they are not just putting in the hours required. They are looking at resource. So if they have to do 10 hours to get the results, they're ready. But the other ones who are just, you tell them work for 4 hours, and it's 4 hours, they are over, they are gone. Those are not entrepreneurs. You give something to the entrepreneur to do 4 hours, 6 hours is not. They have not seen the results. They are still doing them. And they are not so much looking up to the weekend and to the holidays and the enthusiasm about occasions. No, they are not those kind. They are consumed by getting results and getting results for their business, and they want to own an instrument that will promote their ideas, and most often they want to own a business, and they see business prospects in a lot of things. They see solutions around. When they move around, they see solutions, and they are always thinking of the next thing. They are always they look at figures, they add numbers together. They have the ability to make business sense in terms of the economics of what they are trying to put up. So if it doesn't add up, then they have to fine tune it, and they are fascinated about other accomplished entrepreneurs. Very much. They read about them, they hear, they laugh, they watch movies about them, they read about them, they interview some of them that they know. They always try to find themselves in those who have achieved something in the same path that they have taken. And so these are the people that you call entrepreneurs. They're not the ones who are just chasing some people for some deals and cutting corners. And no, those are not the kind of people. They are business people. They're not the so-called entrepreneurs that we have. And so they are easily misunderstood. They are patient to pursue their agenda, to pursue their business, and they have very strong negotiation and convincing skill. They're able to put up argument for you to understand what they have, even though they are easily misunderstood as to how they look at life. But they're able to explain themselves for you to get to understand what they have. These are all inclinations of entrepreneurs, and that's why they are not in the big numbers. In every 100 people, this kind of people that I'm talking of, we are looking at maybe 5, 2, 3, 4% kind of people who look at life this way. They look at life differently from the rest of the people, and they have their own persuasions about a lot of things. They have their own persuasions about a lot of things, and they love to get along with quality people. They are not funny. They are not people who are just let's go and drink those, let's go and party kind of people. No, they are driven with vision. So even if they are partying with you, they are partying with you with the agenda in mind. They are not the ones who are stopping everything and going to watch football when what they want to realize is still on the table. Why? Because their satisfaction is in doing their vision, is in doing their dream. That is what they are satisfied with, and those are the people that I'm calling entrepreneurs. And they get things done. They take risk. They take risk. What everybody's running away, they want to take it. Sometimes they are even taking it without even knowing it, but they take it anyway. And so at least from the beginning they are that idiot, and so to say, I'm sorry to use that word, but they are the kind who will get all the fast and still go ahead and try something. And that's why they're able to create businesses. That's why they're able to create businesses all the time. And some of them, they have been doing it for a long time, and you can still see the same qualities run through them. When they meet the poor, the rich, they still talk to them like human beings. You watch out for anybody who has built business with these qualities and look at them all the time. You see that they look at life differently. So they take risk. They are able to put up with a lot of pain and discomfort and disaster and mistakes and things that didn't work. They put up with that. And most of them are also very moderate with respect to how they spend money, how they spend resources. They are very much particular about waste. These are entrepreneurs. These are entrepreneurs, and they love knowledge. They are in love with books. They are in love with things that will develop their mind all the time. All the time. That's how they use their time. Is it that they are reading or they are doing? Is it that they are learning something or they are doing something? That is the life of entrepreneur. It's constant learning. And is it that they are also sharing with people, like what I'm doing? I'm sharing with you, and the more I am sharing, the more I'm also getting myself developed. As a matter of fact, if I share with you, I get developed more than you, because I'm also talking to myself. And that's what entrepreneurs do. Because they share their ideas, they share their qualities, they share their persuasions, they are always in constant development. And they get to learn a lot. They buy books, they read, they watch videos, they are listening to talks all the time. These are the people that we call entrepreneurs. That's why they believe in doing the right thing all the time. They believe in doing the right thing all the time, because the moment you compromise the processes, then there's no need for learning. Then there's no need for accuracy, because it's only about you. And once it's only about you, then there's no need, because you're just doing it for the money. You can't sacrifice anything for anything. So why grow? So why grow at all? And so these people who are doing businesses, you see that if you're just doing it just for the self, you're not an entrepreneur. You're just into the business, and that's fine. If that's your philosophy, if that is what you are looking for, that's fantastic. But I'm talking of people who we so much need in the numbers, and these are the entrepreneurs, and it's beyond the work that they have created for themselves. I'm not talking of the guy who has a shop. He can be called entrepreneur, but that's not the kind of entrepreneurs I'm talking of. I think that he has a job and he's using it to feed his family. I'm not talking of those. I'm not talking of the guy who is just chasing some contract from that institution and is ready to do any other thing to get that contract and do it and get some money. I'm not talking of that. That is somebody just trying to find a job for himself and find money. That's fantastic. I'm not talking of the salesperson who's just really looking at just selling something to make profit. That's good. And I'm not talking of the innovator who has just come up with an idea and he does not know how the idea is going to benefit people. I'm talking of somebody who is able to pick the idea and get the people and see the value of the idea and the lives that they are going to change, and is ready to take all the risk in between to make sure that the idea grows beyond him. And so he develops his leadership ability. He's very resilient. He understands the processes. That's why he's continuously learning. Why? Because the things that are thrown at him are so many, and it's not just a business. And so if you study any entrepreneur anywhere, you see that these things cut across every one of them. Every one of them. You see people who are ready to teach you, who are ready to talk to you, who are ready to tell you their secrets, who are ready to be open up to you, because they started with nothing. And those are the people that are called entrepreneurs. And these are the qualities that you have to have if you are looking beyond just your selfish interests, just beyond what to eat and what to drink. If you are looking beyond that and you want your idea to explode, to help people, to create jobs, and to help the community, to help the country, you have some services that you think that can help so maybe you see the waste around the country. When you're going into it, you are not just going into it just to make money, but you're going into it to you see it as a need to help the country to be more to live in health, to live as a people, to live in dignity. There's always a persuasion that is pulling them, and those persuasions are linked to value for human lives, are linked to value for people, and those are the qualities that you see the people we call entrepreneurs have. And so I'm hesitant to give you examples of such people, but I'm sure you have heard a lot of them, and so you use the qualities to see which kind of people that, and you yourself use those qualities to analyze where you are and what you're doing. And that is why they get to build big businesses, because they have these qualities. They are driven by the vision. They are driven by the love for people. They are able to see talent, and they're able to put a lot of people together to create this. And they are not just there to compromise their character and their ethics and their integrity just to get money. No, these are the people, and they are very patient to see the idea is true, and they try and they try and they keep trying till they succeed to build the company that they have set up to build. So entrepreneurs are unique kind of people. They see the world differently from the rest of the world. That's why they are the ones creating the jobs, quality jobs, creditable jobs. They are the ones growing economies around the world. That's why they are the ones controlling a lot of wealth all across the world. You go to Asia, you find them. You come to Africa, you find them. You go to the Americas, you find them. Everywhere you find them. And one thing that is certain about them is that you see that they are people who are passionate about their vision, about people. They are very careful with their character. They try to be very kind. They are very controversial in many ways, but they have some kind of self-confidence. That's why they're able to put up with a lot of the things that the other people will not put up with, And so these are the ways that I think, these are the qualities that I think entrepreneurs have. And so you can also develop them yourself. You can develop them yourself. And I have been developing, I've been reading, I've been researching, I've been studying, I've been monitoring all these great people who have done it. Whether they can read, they can read. Those that I know that live around, those that I know that are in the country, those that I know around the world, those that I hear about, those that I can research about them. I'm fascinated about reading about such things all the time. And that's one of the marks of an entrepreneur. They are fascinated about great achievers in this field. So my name is Obendako. I'm talking about qualities of an entrepreneur, and I've put up an argument that there are business people and there are entrepreneurs, and I think that the entrepreneurs are driven more by other things than what the business people are driven by. The business people are only driven by money for the shareholders, stakeholders, for themselves, and they create the businesses mainly to create more wealth for themselves, which is okay, because that is also needed, But entrepreneur has to have different kind of disposition. So if you confuse the two, then there's problem, And so the entrepreneurs, the basic characteristics that you see about them, they seem to be very opposite, and the way they look at life is different from the way people look at life. They are very controversial, they are opposite, and they are straight to the point. They don't hide a lot of things. They can tell you what they think. They have stamina to do the work, and they don't just give excuses. They work hard, they commit to the results, they solve problems, and they want to make a mark. They want to make impression with their lives. They want to leave name. They want to leave something beyond themselves. And they are people who are very much selfless. They have value for people, and they create meaning with their lives. And if you get to be around them, you see that they are the kind of people, very kind, very jovial, sometimes very erratic, and they believe in people as well. And they see the talent in people. They give people opportunities all the time. They share their mind, they share their thoughts, they share their lives with people. That's why they get to have more ideas than everybody. And they are passionate about people. They don't give up on their dreams, and their love for people is able to help them to link with a lot of talent. That's why they seem to have some kind of gift to tap the best of talent to get the vision to go forward and to get the company to grow. And you see that they are not, the way they look at work and job is different. They are not the one looking at 9 to 5 and when they are closed, they're happy, they're thanking God that there is Friday. No, they commit to work, and whatever it takes for them to finish the work, they'll finish. They are not looking at I'm putting 2 hours, 3 hours kind of thing. And they are not the ones who are always looking for holiday and occasions and partying all the time. They want to own businesses, they want to own companies, and they know that they can use these companies to realize their dreams. They are analytical in thinking, they solve problems, I said it, and they ask a lot of questions. And that's why they think differently from the rest of them. They are fascinated about accomplished entrepreneurs. They read about them, they research about them, and they find a lot of materials to read and see how they handled what they handled, and so they create their own heroes all the time, and they talk to people who have achieved the same thing. And one thing that separates them is that they are the ones who are always building on integrity, on character, and they are not safe. You see, the thing about it is that once it's not safe, you're likely to build with quality of character. People compromise because it's safe. If you see somebody who is selfless, it's not corrupt, go and look for that. It's not the one who's ready to kill everybody. The people who are ready to just do anything for money and for gain, it's because they are thinking only about themselves. If you meet people who are very selfless, go and look. They are very much of character. Good one. Integrity, honesty, respect, kindness. Those are the things that they look out for, because they think that without those, whatever they are doing is useless. Why? Because they are not just doing it for the money. They are doing it to add value to society, to lives. And they are misunderstood some way, somehow, but they are able to convince people. They have ability to convince. That's why they are able to tell people to buy into their vision, into their product, to give them money, and so welcome back. And they wrapping up, and so thank you for watching. And they are very focused on their work, and they have persuasions, and they love to get along with a lot of people, and people with talent, with quality spirit, and some of the things that they exhibit, people around them saw them when they were growing up. They take risk, and they love knowledge, and they read, they ask a lot of questions. They believe in us. It's not them. It's not just myself, my company. They believe in us. That's the thinking that you see them have all the time. And so I'm saying that the road to entrepreneurship is tough, and so develop these qualities, and once you get to develop them and you become aware of them, you'll be able to build the business that you want to build and change the societies, change the narration of Africa, change the story of Africa, come up with products and services that are so needed here. And so if you have these qualities, or if you get to develop these qualities, you will do some fantastic job with yourself, because you're asking questions, you're selfless, you see the value in people, you have integrity, you're able to work hard, you understand numbers, you understand money, you ask critical questions, you're able to solve problems. These are the things that entrepreneurs have. And so once we get to get the numbers of people who are behaving like that, we will get a lot of entrepreneurs who are committed to value and to developing our continent, and so we will not put up with the struggles that much, and then we will be able to have a lot of people who are thinking like that. And it starts with awareness, it starts with knowledge, it starts with thinking, so thank you very much. If you don't know it, then we cannot do it, but once we get to know it, then we have a fair chance of us doing it, and that's what we are all doing. We are learning all the time, we are studying all the time, we are reading, we are doing something, we are sharing what we know, because that is what we have. And we have one continent, and we have one country, which is our dear country, Ghana, and all of us can do something to change the story and improve the lives of our people. So thank you very much for watching. My name is Kwabena. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.